All right, everyone. I spent the morning dealing with the somewhat archaic legal system down here in Louisiana. It's Greek to me. I don't even know what's going on. There's a little bit of confusion as regards to scheduling, so I try to muddle through it. Anyway, I wanted to talk about registering to vote. Today is the last day in Georgia and Arizona to register to vote. If you are a clanker in either of those states, it is exceptionally important that you register. Don't just register yourself, register someone else. Remember, we're less than a month out now from Election Day. Trump needs all the help he can get, especially in those key states. Most of the others in which registry ends today, like Indiana and a few others, they're not as much in play. They tilt fairly red. You should still register, and you should still pull all out to get other people to register. This is the last day to do it in several states. But Arizona and Georgia specifically, those are going to be very important. I give Trump the advantage in both, and the latest polling does show a bump for Trump, so to speak. But ballot printers go burr. Maricopa County exists. Fulton County exists. And so those are very, very important. What I would pitch is this. We're now on the precipice as a nation. We've got basically two roads that we can travel on. There are no other alternatives. On the one road, you get potentially the stacking of the court. You get attacks on the Second Amendment. You certainly get attacks on the First Amendment. The Democrats are being very, very honest when they tell you, hey, the First Amendment is an impediment to fighting disinformation. That's code for we want more censorship. It's also code for we want to go after Twitter more than anything else, X. You know, Elon Musk has formed a PAC now to support Donald Trump. They clearly don't like the dude. It means war, potentially. If you are young, especially male, you could end up drafted by Kamala Harris. She is quite clearly itching to start a war, possibly with Iran. She gives me the same vibe as Hillary Clinton in 2016. This is one of the reasons why I was so vehemently against her, because I don't want to see people die. We've got a frenetic foreign policy under Biden that really, I think, largely would be echoed on steroids under Kamala Harris. The other road is that we get broad middle-class tax relief. We don't attack the First and Second Amendments. We preferably, along with, his first term, Trump never started a new war. He scaled down several wars, enacted the Afghan peace deal, which, Biden flubbed, but, the effort was there. We can avoid that. We can avoid World War III. It's not hyperbolic to state that the kind of regional warmongering that Kamala would have in mind could lead to a broader conflict. And so, especially if you're a young voter, if you're of drafting age, there's literally no reason to vote for Kamala Harris. Basically, here's who should vote for Kamala. You're a single-issue voter who is taken in by propaganda thinking that Trump is going to put you barefoot in the kitchen. You're like a young female voter. It's number one. Number two, you're taken in by the Democrats' lies, which have been countermanded by statement after statement after statement for over a decade by Trump and Vance, by the way, that he's going to take away your Social Security, he's going to take away your Medicare, he's going to take away your Medicaid, or you don't pay taxes, you don't give a shit, or you're taken in by id poll. That's a fairly slim proportion of the population. Donald Trump has been fairly straightforward on all of his views. He's a moderate on abortion. He wants modest tax relief, mainly geared towards the working and middle class, and he's not interested in war. I don't see the problem with this. I don't see the fascism. I don't see the extremism. I don't see the reactionaryism. I don't see any of these things that the legacy media keeps talking about. Meanwhile, Kamala's going on the Pussy podcast. Donald Trump is willing to go into the lion's den on MSNBC or CNN, whereas Kamala Harris can only go on to echo chamber. She's going on Stern. Wow, how hard-hitting. This is not 1995 anymore. as Kamala would say, she's like, well, this is no longer the 1950s. Well, it's also no longer the 1990s. Going on Howard Stern is not putting your foot into the lava, so to speak. She's a coward. She's a warmonger. She's a wicked old witch. That's literally all she is. She's also an empty suit. Press her on issues. Outside of an echo chamber where she's getting namby-pambied, can she even answer basic substantive policy questions? They grill Trump like he's a goddamn shish kebab, and he still manages generally to hold up. But even softball questions go over Kamala Harris's head. So get out and register to vote. You can't vote unless you register. You need to do that. We need all the help we can get. And don't listen to the black pillars, well, your vote doesn't matter. Yes, it does. The last election came down to a few tens of thousands of votes. 2016, very close to that. Trump is running ahead of where he was in 2016, by the way, by several points nationally and in most of the swing states. Effectively, if people register to vote, get others out to the polls on election day, and actually pull the lever, he's got it in the bag. He's got a 100% chance of winning as long as turnout is high enough. You think that Kamala, outside of a few niche groups, really inspires high turnout? I don't think so. That's about all. Peace out.